Good day everyone, we are Group 4 and we are to conduct two experiments, first with the plant samples. For the materials, we need water, measuring spoons, dishwashing liquid, mortar and pestle, measuring cup, barbecue sticks, chopping board, salt, strainer, plastic cups, chilled alcohol, a knife, dropper, pineapple juice, papaya, tomato, banana, and onion. Before proceeding with the first step, we must first adhere to laboratory rules. Wear a laboratory gown, sanitize your hands, and wear gloves before conducting the experiment. For the first procedure, we must cut the plant materials into small pieces. Now that the plant materials are now cut into smaller pieces, get a teaspoonful of each plant materials and put it in a mortar separately. mechanically grind it with a pestle to break down. Once the plant material is broken down, put it in a separate cup. For the next step, add 1 teaspoon of salt in each of the sample. Next, on a separate cup, pour 250 ml of water and add 5 teaspoons of dishwashing liquid and stir well. Add 2 teaspoons of liquid soap solution into each sample with salt and stir well. Separate the liquid portion of each sample using a strainer. After which, add 2 drops of fresh pineapple juice into each sample. Stir gently with a barbecue stick. And now, let's use chilled alcohol. Pour 2 teaspoons of 70% ethyl alcohol into each sample. Leave for 1 minute, 30 minutes, and 2 hours for observation. And now for the results. For the 1-minute result, for the sample containing papaya, there is no visible clumping. As for tomato, there is a noticeable clumping with a distinct red to orange color. For banana, there is a visible clumping. And lastly, for the onion, similar with papaya, there is still no noticeable clumping that stays afloat on the sample. Moving on for the 30-minute results, we can now see changes in each sample. For papaya, there is already a dispersed clumping that is visible. For tomato, clumping has increased and it spreads out on the liquid sample. For banana, there is a distinct clumping that stays afloat on the sample. And for onion, there is already a little and dispersed clumping. Now for the 2-hour results. The sample containing papaya now has a more defined clumping compared to the previous timestamps. For tomato, the red to orange color is now dispersed and the clumping increased and became more visible. For banana, the clumping is dispersed but it is more noticeable. And lastly, for the onion, the clumping increased but it spreads out on the liquid sample. And that concludes our experiment number 1. Moving on to our next experiment, experiment number 2 with biological sample. Similar with experiment 1, we will use the same procedures and we will also utilize the same materials with the addition of a biological sample, which is saliva. For the first step, take a mouthful of 40 ml water and swish it for 2 minutes. Spit out into a plastic cup. Then, add 1 teaspoon of salt in the sample and stir well. For the third step, on a separate container, pour 250 ml of water and add 5 teaspoons of dishwashing liquid and stir well. Then, add 2 teaspoons of the liquid soap solution into the sample and stir well. Separate the liquid portion using a strainer. After which, prepare a fresh pineapple juice and add 2 drops of it into the sample and stir well. And now, let's use chilled alcohol. Pour 2 teaspoons of 70% ethyl alcohol into the sample and leave it for 1 minute, 30 minutes, and 2 hours for observations. For the results, during the 1 minute mark, there is already a visible clumping of the genetic material in the sample. And after another 30 minutes of observation, the clumping of the genetic material has increased, which stays afloat on the side part of the plastic cup. Lastly, after the 2-hour observation, it is evident that the clumping now is more defined and it stays afloat at the center of the plastic cup. And that concludes our experiments for today. Thank you!